The day I made myself 5 times more productive was the day I decided to walk away from coding entirely. Let that sink in for a second. I was a senior software engineer at Walmart Labs. I had spent decades becoming genuinely good at my craft. And then Copilot landed on my machine, and I watched it do in minutes what used to take me hours. And my first thought wasn't, great. My first thought was, I need to get out. Not because I panicked, because I understood exactly what I was looking at. Stay with me, because what I saw in that moment is the same thing I'm going to show you today. And if you're an experienced operator in any field, this video might be the most important one that you watch this year. Let me tell you what most people are getting wrong about AI and jobs. Everyone's focused on the wrong question. They're asking, will AI replace me? When the question they should be asking is, what part of my value is actually at risk? Here's what I know from 30 years inside the rooms where these decisions get made. McKinsey boardrooms, Walmart's technology division, DARPA programs, federal cybersecurity. I have an MBA and I've consulted for C-suite executives. I understand how they think. I understand what they're measured on. And here's the uncomfortable truth. C-suite incentives are real. Quarterly profits have to keep going up. We live inside a capitalist system that values those numbers above almost everything else. When a CEO sees a technology that can reduce headcount while maintaining or increasing output, they are incentivized to use it. That's not cynicism. That is just understanding the rules of the game. And at Walmart Labs, the game became very clear to me very quickly. I saw that the open source code ecosystem, millions of examples of how to build almost anything, was essentially a training data set for AI that could generate code. Copilot wasn't a novelty. It was a signal. And that signal was the how of software development was becoming not all of it, but enough of it to fundamentally change what a software engineer needs to be worth hiring. So yes, white-collar jobs are going to go away. And no, not all of them. But a significant portion of the ones where your value was primarily in knowing how to do something, those are at risk. And if you're protecting that territory right now, I want to help you understand why that's the wrong move. So here's the pivot. And this is where most conversations about AI get it completely wrong. There's a framework I've been working with that changed everything for me. It comes from a VP I work with named Keith. And his entire approach starts with a sequence of questions. In order. Who? Why? What? How? Not the other way around. Most of us, especially in technology, have been trained to lead with the how. We learn tools. We build skills around execution. We become experts in the mechanics of getting things done. And for decades, that expertise had real value. But here's what AI is doing to that equation. The how is increasingly something AI can handle, given enough context, especially in knowledge work, especially in white-collar environments. What AI cannot do, what it has never been able to do and will not be able to do for at least the foreseeable future, is answer the who and the why. Who are we building this for? Why does it matter? What outcome are we actually trying to create? Those questions require judgment. They require pattern recognition built over years of lived experience. They require understanding of human beings, their incentives, their fears, their unstated needs. They require the kind of contextual wisdom that you can't train a model on because it lives in the body, not in text. This is why I believe AI doesn't replace expertise. It compounds it. The operators who understand this are going to become exponentially more effective. The ones who don't, who keep trying to defend their how, are going to find that territory disappearing underneath them. So the move is not to learn more tools. The move is to go deeper into your who, your why, and your what, and then let AI handle the how. Now, I want to make an important distinction here, because I think this is one of the most underexplored ideas in this entire conversation. Everything I just said applies primarily to white-collar knowledge work environments, and I want to be honest about that. Because when I think about manufacturing, when I think about the operators and technicians and people working on the floor of a production facility, I don't see replacement. I see enhancement. There's this image I come back to a lot. Remember when Google was experimenting with smart glasses? HUDs that would bring information to you as you worked, overlaying data onto your visual field so you could make better decisions in real time? That vision was ahead of its time. but the fundamental idea was right. In manufacturing, the human on the floor is not the liability. They're the asset. They understand the machine. They understand the workflow. They understand the 10,000 subtle things that go wrong in ways that no sensor array has ever fully captured. That knowledge, that institutional knowledge, is irreplaceable. What AI can do is bring information to that person faster, help them see patterns across thousands of machine cycles, surface anomalies before they become failures, give the experienced operator a kind of augmented perception that makes them even better at what they already do well. This is why, when I think about the company I'm building, Retained Intelligence, the core insight is that the goal isn't to automate away the experienced operator. It's to make sure their knowledge doesn't walk out the door when they retire. It's to capture what they know in a form that enhances everyone around them. AI as an enhancer, AI as an amplifier, not as a replacement. That's the distinction that matters. So let me bring this home. I've been navigating waves of technological disruption for 30 years. Every time a new wave came, there were people who saw it as a threat and people who saw it as leverage. The ones who treated it as leverage are still in the game. Most of the ones who treated it as a threat aren't. AI is the biggest wave I've seen in my career. Bigger than the internet, bigger than mobile, bigger than cloud. And it's moving faster than any of them. But here's what I know, and this is the thing I want to leave you with today. Your who and your why and your what are yours. Your judgment, your pattern recognition, your understanding of people and systems and consequences. That is not automatable. That is not replaceable. What AI is doing is removing the tax on your time that the how used to represent. It's giving you leverage on execution that didn't exist before. So stop starting with the how. Start with who you're building for, why it matters, and what you're actually trying to create. Get ruthlessly clear on those, and then let AI handle the rest. That is the operator's edge. If this landed for you, subscribe, because this is what we do here. We talk about how experienced operators navigate the AI era without losing what makes them irreplaceable every week. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, please share it. It might change how they think about the next 5 years of their career. I'm Robert Dempsey. This is the Operator's Edge. I'll see you in the next one.